Hello everyone, Dr. Suneel Dhand, medical doctor. Welcome to another video. Well, there has been a absolutely furious reaction by many people who claim to be doctors and other people who claim to be scientists following the video I made week before last regarding my personal health decision, as any health decision should be, personal decision declining the flu shot for the first time in a very long time, certainly since the beginning of my medical career. And I openly and honestly discussed the rationale behind this. I wasn't giving direct medical advice. I even said that many people close to me, family members, decide to get the flu shot. That's their own decision. But I was sharing my own story and what happened to me, which basically was a healthy winter. And I went over that in a calm, logical way. But of course, that wasn't enough for many people who are sadly within the medical profession who sent me messages absolutely furious, saying what a terrible person I am, how I'm very dangerous, how I should have my medical license revoked for daring to discuss something openly and honestly. Seriously, what sort of profession do we have? What has become of science? And actually, I've already just talked about this in my free newsletter. For those of you who are not already signed up for my free newsletter, link is down below in the description. But I thought I would address in this video the particular concerns that came up from these furious people within the medical and scientific community. And let me address each one head on. Number one, you shouldn't share this story. You got that? Somebody in medicine or science saying you shouldn't openly and honestly share your story. How utterly disrespectful of individuals. Again, we saw this during the pandemic. What became of individual autonomy, personal healthcare decisions, and everybody being treated with respect? Of course, everybody should be allowed to share their story. Healthcare and medicine is about people. It's about stories. And even suggesting that somebody, even if they're a doctor, shouldn't be allowed to share their story because it might sow the seeds of confusion is utterly ludicrous. But I heard that from a few people who, of course, we know what's really going on. They're very concerned that it doesn't fit the narrative. Number two, the second thing I heard was, there's no harm in it, just take it. Boy, I heard that during the pandemic as well. There's no harm in something, just go ahead and do it. Well, how is that good medicine and science? The onus isn't on anybody to say there's no harm in it. The onus is to say, well, what are the benefits? Yes, it is true that I've taken the flu shot for many years. I've never had any issues with it whatsoever, no side effects. That's not the point. I want my behavior to align with my internal beliefs. And of course, everyone will know that when that doesn't happen, when the two are not congruent, that sows the seeds of an unhappy life. And nobody can be happy if their internal beliefs are not consistent with their behaviors. And I had questions for many years regarding the efficacy of the shot because I actually read the studies and I went on my own personal level of health to make this decision. I believe in doing things as naturally as possible. I never want to be on any prescription medications. So of course, I'm not going to be keen on taking any injection unless you can absolutely prove to me that it has benefits. So I do not buy at all this crazy, ridiculous logic that there's no harm in something, just do it. That is not how medicine is, and no doctor should ever say something like that. Number three, you are completely wrong scientifically. The flu shot is very effective indeed. Well, I'm sorry, but I've actually read the studies. I've looked at some latest research as well, which has raised some questions. And as I said in my initial video, I'm not giving direct medical advice. I have many family members, as I said, who choose to take it. They're in the more vulnerable communities and they've weighed up the risks and benefits and they've decided that they want to do it. Fair enough. Everybody is free to make their own decisions. I was merely relaying my own story and I've looked at data. I've applied critical thinking skills to the best of my ability. And I decided that for myself, it didn't make any sense to have that shot. We know the reality that this is a virus which is not stable. It's rapidly evolving. And by the time any shot comes out, which aims to counter the flu virus, it's very likely that the flu virus has changed. That is why so many people who take the shot still go on to get the virus. Am I saying that it has absolutely zero efficacy and has never done anyone any good? That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying that health and medical decisions are based on best available evidence. I have applied my critical thinking skills. I've looked at latest data and I've assessed my own risk and I decided that it was not for me. End of story. Number four, you are muddying the waters. You are confusing people. What an utterly preposterous thing to say. In medicine and science, there's often more gray than black and white. And interestingly, I heard exactly the same thing from the same people. Isn't that scary? During the pandemic, who were furious with my own personal health decision to decline the mRNA product for very similar reasons, although they're obviously two very different products. And people said to me, you're confusing people, muddying the water back then as well. Well, there's often more gray than black and white. And that is science. You can't make science black and white simply because you don't want to confuse people. Everybody is an individual and everybody must know the risks and benefits of any particular decision. To heck with this muddying the water business. You're confusing people. This also gets to another big issue we have in medicine and science. There are some doctors out there, maybe many doctors, who think that people are too stupid to understand that there's nuance and there's a lot of gray involved. That is so disrespectful to the general population. Number 5, you are very dangerous. You're a dangerous doctor. I heard that from a few people online. Well, I will leave it to my viewers and people who listen to me or even meet me to determine whether I'm dangerous and I don't want the best for people. I say that they are the dangerous ones because we see this in a variety of different realms. We've seen it previously. We saw it during the pandemic. And we've seen it, sadly, from the medical and scientific community when it comes to certain drugs. Statins come to mind, maybe certain other injections. They are attached religiously to something. They have it absolutely concrete in their minds that something is good, something works. And it's clear when you even talk to these people that they don't understand what they're dealing with themselves. They don't have critical thinking skills. They haven't asked difficult questions. And like with any religion or dogma, any perceived deviation from that, they think in their minds that it's very dangerous. And sadly, this is how the world has got into trouble over many thousands of years when people have religious fanaticism. And I will say that their attachment to certain things, certain narratives, which sadly frequently come from big pharma, big business, becomes a religion for them. And they will go to almost any extent to defend their beliefs, which are rooted in just simply wanting to follow something and not asking questions. The human mind is a wonderful thing. Science is a wonderful thing when done properly, but you have to be open-minded and you have to accept that difficult questions are going to come your way. So I would turn that around completely. I'm not the dangerous one. I'm the one who's encouraging debate, being open, transparent. And I even say that I might be wrong about lots of things, but I'm human. I'll have my own opinions and I will bring information as openly and transparently to people as possible. And I respect people and I want them to make their own decision. So I will leave it up to everyone to judge who is the dangerous party here. And number 6, finally, I want to turn the tables again and ask anybody out there who has even a shred of common sense, what else do you think I would do right now other than to say, I'm completely done with the flu shot for now? Of course I am. I have no intention of taking it again unless something drastically changes. Maybe something happens on my end with my personal medical situation. Maybe something happens with the virus. I will decline it every single year from now. And I would ask anybody, and I'm sure this will make those same doctors and scientists, they shouldn't even be called scientists, but it will make them furious again that I'm saying this, that I see no reason whatsoever why I should take it as things currently stand. So I'm done with it. That's my final statement. And on a more serious note, this gets to a bigger point about how broken medicine and science is. And I will keep doing my best in these videos for standing up for true medicine, for standing up for how doctor-patient interaction should be, how there should be total respect for every single individual, respect for autonomy, respect for informed consent. That's what I truly believe in, and I will not accept any of these furious reactions, and I will absolutely not bow down to any of these crazy people that sadly occupy positions in medicine and science. We need as many real doctors and scientists to stand up as possible. We need people who are critical thinkers, who are able to step away from the crowd, who are able to ask difficult questions, who want to be open, transparent, and also brave, not act like cowards. There has never been any good doctor or scientist in history who has completely fallen in line. Actually, the best ones have always been those who stand away from the crowd and are thinking outside the box. Thanks everyone for watching. Feel free to leave a comment down below. I enjoy hearing from all of you. Feel free to share your stories. Also check out the links down below for my website, all the other work I do, and our natural supplement store. Very excited to be expanding our natural supplement store. Also, once again, my free newsletter. If you're not already signed up for that, please do so. Link down below in the description. If you enjoyed this video, you will also enjoy some of my other videos on maintaining good metabolic health naturally and taking your well-being to the next level. Hit the like button if you like this video, the subscribe button for more similar videos in the future, and we will speak again very soon.